So, very good morning students. So, in the previous class we discussed about a Newton's second law statement, that is a Newton's second law is, as well as we finished about some law of conservation of linear momentum and examples also. And again I will tell you one more also, you remember, related to Newton's second law, that Newton's second law is nothing but once again I will explain you the statement, that is if external force is directly proportional to the rate of change of momentum. This is the statement. In this case here you write here if external is equal to some constant is introduced, that is you said k. K is nothing but a constant, we can also take as a 1, it's nothing will happen. So that f external will be, it is equal to, it is dp by dt. So this is the statement originally. Now let us, I want to explain you related to mathematical form of a Newton's second law. Mathematical form of Newton's second law. Actually this is the very important for 4 marks, as well as f is equal to ma it is. See, you remember it is very important. Every year this question is asking. Every year look at previous question papers. So that it is f is equal to ma. Now we have to show the mathematical form of Newton's second law. And let us you take a statement, that is f external force is equal to, or f is equal to, you say dp by dt. Yes. So dp by dp is nothing but a change in momentum, or you say p is nothing but a momentum, that p is equal to, we can take as mv. Directly there you write f is equal to d by dt of m into v. Very simple, only 4-5 steps. So f is equal to m, you take a common, dv by dt. Yes. See, dv by dt is nothing but it is a change in velocity with respect to time, is gives as the acceleration. So that f is equal to ma. This is for 4 marks. This is for 4 marks, we can take as. It is very simple, it is, the question will be very simple. Or else other also is there, second method also, it is also very simple. It is the first method. No? Let us you take a one body of mass is m, right? And there is a force F is applied, external force, because it is a dynamics, there must be a force is to be considered. There must be a force is to be considered. Therefore, the body moving with velocity u. Then therefore, there is a, finally the body attains the final velocity becomes v after a time t. Then there it is the change in momentum, delta p is equal to m into v minus u, or you say dp also, no problem. Same. The same, everything is same. But in terms of, we can also take like this, there it is to be f external is directly proportional to delta p by delta t, or you want to say f external is directly proportional to dp by dt also, no problem. Simple, you write delta p or dp, here you substitute, and you take a dt is equal to, you take as a t. Then f is equal to, we can write dp is nothing but a m into v minus u by a t we can. So f is equal to m into v minus u by 2. It is the, we can take like this also expression. So that here we know acceleration is equal to v minus u by t, no? Then you write here f is equal to ma. This is the mathematical form of Newton's second law. Of course you write any one is correct, because we have both the methods, because we will use this method in the problems also, and this method also if you write in the final exam, no problem, or else you write this is also no problem. For this you write like this, let us consider a body of mass is m, right? When there is external force is applied, therefore the body moves with an initial velocity u, and after traveling through a distances, and it is time, after a time t, the body will attain the final velocity is v. The body will attain the final velocity v. There is a change in momentum because of the external force acting. So that we can say here final final momentum minus initial momentum, that is m into v minus u, that is dp. So f is directly proportional to delta p by delta t, then f directly proportional to dp by dt also. There you write like this also, no problem. This is the mathematical form of Newton's second law. See, this is the question related to mathematical form of Newton's second law. See, Newton's second law is a very important, and you remember Newton's second law is the real law. Sir, why real law? Because this Newton's second law can explains or can be derived, we can derive both first and third law also. See, that's what Newton's second law is, the real law. Real means it is, this can be derived. By using this Newton's second law, we can derive the first law, as well as we can also explain the third law also. Of course, third law is very simple, that everyone know. There is an every action, there is an equal and opposite reactional force. See, that we can say Newton's third law. So that's what here you remember. Newton's second law is the real law, and which can be explains the both first and third law, because in the first law we know it related to some force. it related to some force, because there it is to be, that can be the body it is at rest, continues to be at rest only until unless external force acts on a body. Of course the force will be like this. The force is nothing but it is a changes, or it is tends to change the position, or we can say the motion of a body. That is the force. And here by using a Newton's second law, you remember, we can explain the units of a force. Yes, we can explain a unit of a force. Of course force unit we know. In SI system we can say dyne, and in MKS system we can say Newton. Or else you want to say from the expression F is equal to ma, no? So mass is measured in CGS system gram, and acceleration is measured in centimeter per second square. That we can say, see, according to the Newton's second law, we can derive the units. See, we can derive the units like this. F is equal to ma, no? By using this F is equal to ma, CGS system units we can write like this: gram centimeter per second square, or we can also call it is a dyne. And here MKS, which we can say like this, it is kg meter per second square. Of course we can say it is a Newton, right? There is a condition, 1 Newton is equal to 10 power 5 dynes. Clear? And here we can also explain, or we can also we can write a dimensional formula also by using this expression, that is ml power minus 2. That's what it is. It explains about a force units, as well as it is also explains about a force definition. It is the significance of a Newton's second law. In case of a Newton's first law is the significance, it is explains about a inertia, and as well as it is also explains about a force. In this case we can say it is defines the force, or it is explains the force, and as well as we can also derive the units of the force. And you remember Newton's second law is the real, because which can explains the both first law and as well as the third law. Clear? So this is the clear information related to Newton's second law. And of course third law is nothing but that is Newton's third law is nothing but every action there is an equal and opposite reactional force is act. Every actional force there is a equal and opposite reactional force is act. And you remember, this equal and opposite will not act on the same body. Suppose you take a one ball, if a ball is thrown towards a wall, therefore the ball is applies the force on the wall, and the wall is applies the equal and opposite force. Wall applies the force on the ball. That's what the two forces are applies. One is ball is applies on the wall, and the wall is applies the opposite force on the ball. That's what equal. And you remember, this actional force and reactional force are acts. It is acts opposite to each other, and it is not on the same bodies, because action is applies on the body and reaction is applies that body on the other bodies. That's what I mean to say. So that is about a Newton's third law. Now I'll explain you some problems on the basis of Newton's second law. We have some problems in our material. I'll tell you one by one problems related to the Newton's second law. And you remember, once again I'll also tell you about a law of conservation of force, law of conservation of linear momentum. That is, when there is an external force acting on the body, suppose I'll tell you law of conservation of linear momentum. That is, you say, when there is an external force acting on the system is 0. When there is an external force acting on the system is 0. Therefore, when there is a system external force acting on the 0, therefore we can say the change in momentum will be 0, or the rate of change of momentum is equal to 0. Sir, why the rate of change of momentum is equal to 0? Because according to the second law is dp by dt, no? Law of conservation of linear momentum, we can say like this: when there is an external force acting on the system is 0, therefore the rate of change of momentum also 0. Or we can say also it is constant. Constant is represented as 0. Therefore dp is equal to 0, or we can say constant. It is very, very important. Of course it is a change in momentum, no? We can say p2 minus p1 is equal to 0. Therefore p2 is equal to p1. This is about a law of conservation of linear momentum. So the conservation of linear momentum is nothing but when there is an external force acting on the system is 0. If the system is contains say different particles, therefore that is external force is directly proportional to dp by dt. Therefore when there is a force is 0, then dp by dt is equal to 0, or we can say constant. According to that, the dp is equal to 0 or constant, then there is a change in momentum will be p2 minus p1 is equal to 0. Therefore, p2 is equal to p1. This is related to law of conservation of linear momentum. When there is an external force is 0, therefore the rate of change of momentum is equal to 0 or constant, which we can say like this. Law of conservation of linear momentum. During the collision we can apply same thing. During the collision in the sense is when there is an external force acting on the system is 0. Suppose the system is consists of two particles. Just in the previous class I explained you m1 and m2 which are moving with velocities u1 and u2, and before collision, then after the collision after the collision the particles are moving like this with momentums v1 and v2. Yes, but during the collision you say when there is an external force is 0, therefore the algebraic sum of before collision momentum is equal to the algebraic sum of after collision momentum. See, according to the law of conservation of linear momentum, in the absence of external force, that you say external force is 0, the sum of the before collision momentum is equal to sum of after collision momentum. That you say sum of the momentum m1 u1 plus m2 u2 is equal to m1 v1 plus m2. It is related to law of conservation of linear momentum. On the basis of law of conservation of linear momentum during the collision we can take like this. So this is about related to what we can say law of conservation of linear momentum. I'll tell you some example problem related to the Newton's second law. Look at from our material that I want to explain you some problems on the basis of Newton's second law. One by one I'll explain you. Yeah, there is one question is given on the basis of Newton's second law, page number 95. These all problems related to Newton's second law. The question number is, page number you write first, page number is 95, question number is you say 1. The given question I'll read you. The linear momentum of a particle as a function of time t is given by, as a function of time t is given by, momentum will be a plus it is bt, where a and b are constant. Very simple is given the question. The momentum is given, the momentum is changes with respect to time is p is equal to a plus bt, and what is the force acting on the particle, right? So a and b are constant, and what is the force acting on the particle? The question will be given like this. Of course we know Newton's second law, F is equal to we say dp by dt. Very simple. Here you write instead of this, that is F is equal to d by dt of a plus bt. Shall I? Now let us apply a differentiation, that is you multiply with d by dt a plus d by dt of bt. Now therefore here you remember with a there is no time, no? Is there any time? So that if there is no time, because we are differentiating with respect to time, no? So it is represented only a, there is no time. If we are differentiating like this, so that it is represented as a constant. For constant differentiation is 0. So simple you write here constant differentiation is 0. And whereas here a t is there, so that you write b dt by dt we can. So dt cancel. Therefore F is equal to b is the answer. F is equal to b is the answer. So this is the question related to Newton's second law, on the basis of Newton's second law problem. And coming to the second, same page number 95 and the question number 2. Question number 2, same page number and question number 2. Look at, I'll read the question here. Calculate the time needed for a net force. There is asking, time is asking, question is given, time is asking, and here there is a net force acting on the bodies, 5 Newton is acting, and the change in velocity of a 10 kg, that is the mass is given as 10 kg, and there is given as a change in velocity, that you say v minus u is equal to, or dv is equal to, given as 2 meter per second. Again it is same. I'll explain the question. Is asking time needed. When there is a force acting 5 Newton on a body of mass is 10 kg and there will be a change in velocity is given as 2 meter per second. Let us you take a 10 kg mass, right? There is a force F applied 5 Newton and there is a change in velocity. Initially that is the mass is 10 kg and when there is a force applied, therefore there may be a change in velocity. It is to be represented dv is equal to 2 meter per second. So what is the time to change of this velocity? Of course, we can take F is equal to, it is, we can write like this, m into A, then F is equal to m into V minus U by T we can. Because A is V minus U by T, no? Here you write, force is given 5, mass is given 10, V is given 2, like this. So, it is a 5 ones and 5 twos. So, therefore, time is equal to 4 seconds. Very simple. Simple question, simple problem it is, on the basis of Newton's second law. On the basis of Newton's second law. You go through these two questions. It is a question number 1 and it's question number 2. In the page number 95, this was given. Okay? Now let us. Right. So coming to the next question, there is another question is given. Question number 4. Look at the question number 4, same page number. 95 page number, question number 4. Right. I'll read the question. From material I am telling again. A constant force acting on a body of a mass is 3 kg. So there is a constant force is acting. That force we don't know. And here the given is the body of mass is, you take a body of mass is equal to 3 kg is given. Changes its speed from 2 meter per second to 3.5 meter per second. That is, it is the change in speed is given. Initially the speed of the body is given 2 meter per second to, then the final will be, it is 3.5 meter per second, which is changes like this when there is a constant force is applied. So the velocity changes from 2 meter per second to 3.5 meter per second on a body of mass 3 kg. Therefore, the velocity changes. Coming to the point is the direction of motion of a body remains unchanged. So when there is a force is applied, no, therefore the force is, because of the force applied, the direction is does not changes. That is, the body is moving along the applied force only, the direction of applied force only. What is the magnitude and direction of force? Yes. Is asking force. Very simple. Okay. And in this case is given, the time will be given as t is equal to 25 seconds it is. Then you take a direct formula, F is equal to m into V minus U by T. Very simple it is. We know m is given as 3 and here velocities are given 3.5 minus 2 by 25. So F is equal to 3 into 3.5 minus this is 1.5 divided by 25. So that here F is equal to, you write here 3 into 15 by, is take as 250. Because it is there like that, no? So that here 15, you say 3 times and it is 550 times. So F is equal to 9 by 50. So that 9 by 50 which may be represented as F is equal to 0.18 Newton. If we simplify this, you will get the answer will be like this. So these are the problems given on the basis of Newton's second law. Newton's second law. Right here, there is another problem is given. So the page number 99. So one more question I'll explain you. Page number 99. So the question number will be on the basis of Newton's second law only, 5.5. So for the practice I am telling, a constant force acting on a body of mass is 3 kg. So the mass of body is given, 3 kg is given, which changes its speed from 2 meter per second to, I mean to say it is over, no? Okay, you take 5.5, no? Okay, a constant retarding force is acting. Retarding in the sense is, you remember, that is opposite force is acting. Applied on a body of mass is 20 kg. 20 kg. Moving initially with a speed. There is a speed is given initially 15 meter per second. How long does the body takes to stop? See, how much time does the body takes to time to stop? This is the question is given, right? Okay, is asking like this. Then it is moving with velocity is given, and how long does it takes to stop? Bole to that we can say the final velocity becomes 0. Yes, you take F is equal to m into v minus u by t. Of course, 50 Newton minus retarding in the senses we can say minus. Mass is 20 and v 0 minus u given as 15. By time is asking how long. Minus 50 is equal to 20 into minus 15 by t. So that you say 0 cancel and minus answer cancel, 5 ones, 5 threes. So that the time will be 6 seconds. Like this, it is based on the Newton's second law, problems related to the Newton's second law. So this is about a Newton's second law and as well as Newton's third law relations, and this is the class related to Newton's second law, third law, and the problems also. And in this I explained about a Newton's first law and Newton's second law and Newton's third law. So these are the relations related to Newton's first and second and third law, and we'll see in the next class. So that is which related to the continuation for this laws of motion, that is there in the next topic is impulse. So again impulse also, on the basis of impulse we have some other problems also. We'll do that in the next class. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.